Francisco de Assisi, para con nosotros. Vivir Jesús en nuestros corazones. Para siempre. En el Padre, el Hijo, el Espíritu Santo. Amen. Okay. So, we are coming to the very end of our time together here, and I am probably as ready as all of you, or if not more, because it's been rough.
Quiz, dude.
I know. The quiz is today, like I said. Esteban, stop. Now, here's what's going to happen. So, like I said, even though we're taking the quiz today, we are going to start learning new stuff. Now, here's where things are. The stuff we're going to learn is not related to the stuff that's on the quiz, and the homework is based on the stuff we're learning this week. And then after this week, there is a big assignment due next week. Okay, so there is no big assignment due. La Rosa y Gabriela, por favor. There is not a big assignment that is due on next week. There might be like a small assignment, but that is it. So we are wrapping up and finishing everything. In addition to that, as a reminder, next day we will have a fiesta. I had one of my classes that had seniors. We did a fiesta and we played the game where it's like guess the drawing.io. I don't remember what the thing is, but it's like drawing.io or something. And maybe we could do something like that. Okay, anyway, so that being said, what I need you to do is open up a ability document. We are going to take apuntes. We're going to take apuntes on a new verb tense. So far we have learned the present, we learned the immediate future, and today we're going to learn the present progressive. So in order for that to happen, you need to see my screen. So do this. So at this point, you should see my screen. Oh God. My apologies. Okay. Here we go. So, the present progressive. The present progressive, estudiantes, is what we use, and you should title this apuntes, present progressive, okay? Or el presente progresivo. What we are going to do is the way that you use this verb is you have to, if you're trying to say I'm doing something at this moment, so like your friend calls you and says, hey, do you want to go on the boat? And you say, no, I can't, I am washing my car. And that's the what you are doing at this very moment. That is what your presentation is of that. Okay, so the first thing we have here. So to form the present progressive, you're going to conjugate the verb estar. So that is to say that's your is, your are, or your am. So if you say I am washing the car, that am is going to be a star. If you remember from Doctor in Place, the Sarah Nistar acronyms, place, I told you that there was the place action, the A of place action, that is this. Okay, so the A of action is the present progressive. So you're going to conjugate the verb estar for the present participle. Those are all fancy words. It's just letting you know you're going to conjugate the verb estar for the person who is doing the action, and then you're going to form the present participle. So you're going to replace the AR, ER, IR ending with the ando or the yendo. So if I am saying I am washing my car, then what do you think? Let's say Ave. What do you think ando and yendo are? If I am saying that estar is the am of I am, and then we have the verb, you replace AR, ER, IR with ando and yendo. What do you think? What is ando and yendo? Think about it. So again, the present progressive is what you're doing right now. So I said I am washing my car. Okay, I am is the conjugation of estar.
Right.
Then you take the verb to wash and you take out the AR, ER, IR ending and you end up with washing my car. So what is ando and yendo in that respect? This is tough. If you haven't learned it, it's tough. I'm trying to see if you can, what you think.
I have no idea, to be honest. Like, I kind of have an idea, but...
We'll say it. The worst thing that you are is wrong, which is not a big deal. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Go ahead.
No,
Be wrong.
I don't know, because now it's, like, making, like, no sense what I was going to say.
How about Esteban? What do you think?
If she doesn't know, I don't know. I get it.
That is not even close to true. You guys are all different people.
No,
How about Javier?
No, I don't know it.
Oh, goodness. All right, does anybody think they know it? What does ando and mean?
Is it the ing ending?
It is the ing ending. Who was that? Was that Logan?
Yeah.
Right down. Awesome. It is the ing ending. So ando and yendo is ing. So when I was saying I am washing my car, okay, the wash is the verb and the ing is the ando and yendo. And that's what it means by take out the AR, ER, IR ending and replace it with ando and yendo. Okay, so here we go. Couple of examples. So what you're going to do is you're going to figure out who is the am, is, and are of the sentence, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to do. So the example that I have is the chicken is. So you're conjugating the verb estar for the chicken. So the chicken, el pollo está con acento, conjugation of estar. Then the second step is you are going to choose the correct verb. I am going to say the verb to fly. Okay, the verb to fly, which is volar. So my sentence is going to be what? Before we go there, Kirsten, what is my sentence going to be? Taking what I have, thinking about the ing, what is it that I'm trying to say?
The chicken is flying.
Perfecto. The chicken is flying. So then the third step is you're going to add the present participle. So you're going to take out, like, just like you conjugate a verb and you box off the AR, ER, IR ending to get rid of that, you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to box off the AR, ER, IR, and you're going to be left with the root vol. And then, because it's an AR verb, you are going to add ando. So volar, you take off the AR ending, you're left with the root vol, and then you add the present participle, or the ing, and it's going to be volando. Okay. Am I good to go or no? By the way, the word present participle is just a fancy word for ing. Do you guys know what the other word is? It's also kind of a fancy word for an ing word. Dalton, ¿qué es una palabra para ing en inglés?
I don't know.
In Inglés, it's English. It's your language. What is the fancy academic language word for an ing word in English?
Is it that participle or whatever?
That's the one that I'm talking about right here, but it starts with a G. Garrett. Garrett. Oh, he left the meeting.
I accidentally hit leave instead of unmute.
You're good. All
I
right.
don't know.
You don't know? Annabeth, go ahead and say it.
Is it gerund?
It is the gerund. Okay, so these are all similar words. I just want you guys to understand because there are going to be teachers that call it the present participle. They're going to call it the gerund. They're going to call it the present progressive. The present participle is the actual ing ending. A gerund is the verb plus the ing ending. And then the present progressive is the verb tense. So I know it's a lot of different things, but they kind of all are the same thing if you understand what that is, okay? So I just want you guys to kind of understand what that is. All right, so we have the sentence, the chicken is flying, or el pollo está volando. Okay, and that is an example of a sentence in the present progressive. Again, this is the A of place. This is the action. All right, we're going to do a little bit of practice. Here we go. Go ahead and try this. You have about 15 seconds. And then I'm going to choose one of you guys to answer this for me. All right, let's see. Jenna, Kathy is cleaning. En español, por favor.
Kathy está limpiando.
Kathy está limpiando. Perfecto. Next one. Jerry is studying. Tomás.
Jerry está estudiando.
Jerry está estudiando. Hopefully everyone has been putting their accents on the verb estar. Hannah is singing.
Esteban.
Sofia Cruz. No.
Dang it, bro. What the frick?
Hey, watch yourself. Sofia Cruz.
Yes.
Hannah is singing.
Hannah está cantando. Hannah está cantando.
Hannah está con acento cantando. Perfecto. Here we go. Couple more. We are washing the car. They are talking. And you, my friend, are working too much. Go ahead and try those three. I'll call on 3 more people.
What's washing again?
Limpiar.
Oh yeah.
Well, technically, to wash. But, I know what you meant. Okay, let's start with we are washing the car. Jacqueline, por favor.
You have to change the form of a star, right?
Correct.
Is it estamos, I don't know how to pronounce that. Crud. I can't pronounce it. Lavando el coche?
That's fine. Estamos, or nosotros estamos, but the nosotros is extra. Estamos limpiando o lavando el carro o el coche. Either any of those variants are okay. If you use lavar or limpiar, they're both, one is to wash, that's lavar. Limpiar is to clean. Okay, so those are two different verbs, but they mean the same thing. Technically, it should be estamos lavando el carro. But like I said, if you want to say we are cleaning the car, it would be limpiando. They are talking. Let us do Esteban.
Give me a minute.
And Gio, you are going to do you are working too much after he's done. Okay? We'll put this.
Would it be what's talking?
That's like one of the first verbs we learned. It starts with an H. Well, to talk. Again, same issue as Dalton. To talk starts with an H.
I have no clue. I mean, it'd be.
Someone help this kid out. What is to talk?
Hablar.
There you go.
Oh. It'd be están hablar.
Okay, so two things. We had the same issue last week when we were doing something, I don't remember. When you are talking about they, if you're talking about él, if you're talking about ella, if you're talking about usted, if you're talking about ellos, ellas, or ustedes, whenever you're talking about any of those people, you have to put either their name or their pronoun. Otherwise, you do not know who you are talking about. So for this one, you have to put the they in there. So ellos están perfecto. Okay, Esteban. But now you have to take the verb hablar. Hablar, H-A-B-L-A-R. You take off the AR ending and you're left with habla. Because it's an AR ending, you then have to add which present participle, Esteban?
Okay.
No, I'm asking. Which present participle do you add for an AR ending?
I know. I was thinking. Is it a blonde?
No. Present participle is just either ando or yendo.
Ando?
Ando, right? Say it with confidence. So you have hablar, you take off the AR ending, you have the roots habla, and then you have to add the correct ending, which you just told me was ando. So then it becomes...
Ellos están hablando.
Perfecto. Ellos están con acento hablando. Gio, es tu turno.
Estás trabajando demasiado.
Ajá. Estás trabajando demasiado. Estás trabajando demasiado. Now, unfortunately, it can't all be that easy. Okay. Do you guys remember that funny word for when you have two vowels next to each other and it sounds funny and you guys all laughed last semester when I told you this word? Those of you who were in my class. Starts with the letter D. No one. No one. Okay. The word is diphthong. In English and Spanish, we have diphthongs, okay? A diphthong is like the word read in English, R-E-A-D, read. It has two vowels in between, and those vowels, it just literally means two vowels next to each other. So if you look on our current screen, we have three examples of diphthongs. So we have leer, oír, and traer. And you can see the orange are all of the endings, and the what's the other parts are not the endings. What has to happen is when you have a verb that is a diphthong, which means it has the two vowels next to each other. When you remove the ending, so for leer, you see you have L-E-E-R, you square off the ER ending and you're left with L-E. That vowel lets you know you cannot go and just add the correct present participle, because then you have L-E-I-E-N-D-O. Which you cannot say leyendo. Like it's a weird word in Spanish. It doesn't mean anything. You cannot do that. The same thing with oír. So you can see right here, the IR ending, when you drop it off, you're left with just a vowel. That would be O-I-E-N-D-O. Same exact thing. And if you did that here with the ER ending, you dropped it off, you would have T-R-A-I-E-N-D-O, which again, you cannot do. So whenever you have diphthongs and you're using the present progressive, we have to actually add a different present participle. Present participle, boys and girls, remembering that present participle is the ing, okay? So we have to add a different ing. So the AR verb ing is ando. The IR verb ing is yendo. However, it is irregular when you have a diphthong. You have to add yendo. Y-E-N-D-O. Okay? So it's actually the same sound as this, yendo, but it's very similar. It's not the same. This is yendo and this is yendo. So instead of it being L-E-I-E-N-D-O, leyendo, it's leyendo. Instead of it being O-I-E-N-D-O, oyendo, it's oyendo. And instead of it being T-R-A-I-E-N-D-O, trayendo, it's trayendo, like that. Okay? So go ahead and take a second to look at that. Now, after we finish practicing this gerund, the present progressive, present participle, whatever you want to call it, after you learn the ando and yendo, you can actually almost conjugate everything in Spanish in the present. Like, oh, what are you doing? You can say that, and you could say, I am walking, or I am going to walk. Like, you can now, with all of the information from this year, almost completely speak in the present tense in Spanish. And next year, hopefully, the goal is to have you actually speaking more, and getting you to do that. So there's that. Okay, so
Hey, I was still taking those notes.
okay. On the next page is a list of a bunch of stem changers. I'm going to scoot this. This video is going to be on YouTube, so you can take a pause and look at the notes after that. These are all stem changes that we have. We know some of them already. We have dormir, we have jugar, we have poder, we have querer, tener, servir. These are ones that we've had, but you can see there are other ones that we haven't learned yet. Almorzar, calentar. Go ahead and rejoin the class, La Rosa, and see if that helps. Like, go out and come back. Okay. Now, here is the thing with stem change verbs. Okay. So, here are some that we have already. Dormir, we know is a stem change, O to UE. This stem change does not go from, oh, did a lot of people lose my screen? All right, can you guys see it now? Okay, awesome. Okay, as you can see, you have your O to UE, dormir stem change, which we learned last week. In the present progressive, that's only a singular vowel stem change, so it goes from O to U. It is very important to know these things, to know that they exist. If you can't see it, Esteban, go ahead and go out and come back. If you, however, once you start like using it more, it becomes second nature and you can like hear it. The difference is, so if I take dormir and I take off the IR, I'm left with dorm, which is the root. It usually becomes like do, the O changes to UE and it becomes duer, like duermo. For this one, if you were to add the iendo ending, it would be duermiendo, which is kind of awkward. And so instead of making all those UE, IE, ue, ie like sounds, you just take off the E part of this and it just becomes dormiendo. I know that's kind of confusing and it doesn't make it easy for me to explain, not in a real classroom, but you can kind of see it there. I'm going to scoot over. I know you're probably still taking notes. Like I said, this is going to be posted. Just let me see what is next because I forgot if it's just examples or not. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so it is just practice. So what I'm going to say is, yeah, is that right there. So go ahead and write that as you guys finish up. Please remember that you guys have your 6A, your dormir, your poder quiz today at 12:30. It is a quiz, not a test, so something between 15 and 20 questions. And yeah, and that's it. That is all she wrote. It's all we have time for. If we didn't have a quiz today, this practice was going to be due. So what we're going to do is I'll just postpone the practice to be due until next class. Now, please make sure and check. You do have homework assignments for this week. This is the last week of homework assignments. Please make sure you check those and do that. The test is going to be in our tutorial time. So you'll join the tutorial link. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do iClicker or if I'm going to do Go Formative. I have like the quiz on a regular document, like if I were giving you a real quiz in class, so I have to decide how I'm going to make it an online test or quiz. So just FYI. All right. If you are finished and you took all your notes, you're free to go. I will see you all at 12:30 sharp. I am starting the test, so make sure you are here on time.
Yes.
Quiz. Ay, my bad. Adios. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, Prof. Or bye, Prof. Bye, Reese. That's it? Just me? All done? All right. Let's escape out of that bad boy. Go ahead. Stop sharing.